Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Aston Villa. So in goal, I'm gonna go with Dean Henderson. I presume he'll be back in goal for this game. Dean Henderson obviously wasn't in goal for the game against Roma recently. It was De Gea. And De Gea was absolutely superb against Roma. He made a catalogue of saves. But Dean Henderson is our number one. Dean Henderson's done well in a lot of the games he's been in goal. He's made very good saves. Dean Henderson's distribution's been good. He's made good aerial claims and he's also kept a lot of clean sheets. I can assure Dean Henderson has a long-term future at Manchester United. Before the start of this season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth 120 grand a week, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Don't forget Dean Henderson endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United before. He's also had other loan spells before, so obviously now he's got that experience. What?
Got all the information I need.
What?
Right, there you are. So if it's going to be out tonight, I've got a bad one.
Yeah.
He's asked me for your number, he's passed that on to Sophie, I've given it. That's your number, isn't it? 43's winner. And then I've said that. It goes to Pudsey, Bradford, then Halifax.
Right, okay.
Stops outside your ring.
Right, I know what to do.
Well, that's it then.
I know what to do.
10 to 1, don't miss it.
I know what to do.
£1, so there we'll have a good drink, it'll be good, you know?
I know what to do.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, I was just talking, so yeah, there you go. At right back, I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka obviously played in the game against Roma recently, and you know what, I thought he enjoyed a pretty good game. He got forward well at times, got into some decent positions, and defensively, he was quite good. This has been Wan-Bissaka's second full season at Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. The 2 centre-halves, I'm going to go with Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. Obviously, Victor Lindelof didn't play against Roma. Obviously, Bay played ahead of him against Roma. As you all know, I do have my strong reservations about Lindelof. And I don't think he's got a long-term future at Man United. But he's had his good games at Manchester United. Lindelof has been at the club now quite a few years. We got him in a deal worth 31 million from Benfica back in 2017. Harry Maguire, he obviously played against Roma recently. I thought it was quite poor, to be honest with you. Left Mkhitaryan and Edin Dzeko unmarked too often. And he lost the ball quite a few times, did Maguire. But he did make some imperative clearances. Maguire's had some good games and he's also had some bad games.
Have you got a figure?
What?
Money in there?
Yeah.
Well, zip that up in a zip pocket and take that away a bit. Keep it zipped. Do you get your ticket on train or outside?
Train.
Right. Just say 1 to 1 if that.
Right, I know what to do, yeah.
What we'll do is get some lager from over there. They'll have a soap packet there, won't they? Me and you will have a walk across the soap packet when we get there.
Alright.
Yeah, so it's 10 to 1, so you'll need to leave here about 10 past 12.
Alright.
Make sure you get it in time.
Yeah, I will.
So make sure that that's fully charged
Yeah.
with e-cig.
Yeah.
Keep it on a full charge. And so make sure your phone's on a full charge.
Yeah, alright.
Charge your phone out, your phone.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, like I was saying, he's had some good games and he's also had some bad games. As it stands at the moment, Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world. We got him in a deal worth £80 million. And he's the second most expensive signing at the club. At left-back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw obviously played against Roma recently. To be honest with you, I don't think he enjoyed the best of games. I've seen him perform much better than he did against Roma. And he did actually make a mistake in the game against Roma that could have been costly. Analysing the vast majority of Luke Shaw's games though, especially this season, he's been very consistent. He's showed good attacking intent. He's got in some very good positions. His crossing's been good. He's provided width, and defensively, he's been superb. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last summer. Luke Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been at the club now over 6 years. A few weeks ago it said that Man United are set to offer Luke Shaw a new 5-year contract worth around £180,000 a week. So we're set to give him like a £30,000 pay rise. Luke Shaw has just over 2 years left on his current contract. Now, in the midfield, I'm going to go with Fred and Scott McTominay. Fred was absolutely superb against Roma recently. He did get an assist in the game. His passing was good, defensively he was good, and he was very tenacious. You can say Fred was partly to blame though for Roma's second goal because he did get dispossessed. Fred isn't a world-class midfielder and he's not on that level where we want him to be at. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Scott McTominay, obviously he didn't play against Roma. I think McTominay is a decent player. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. I think the best game he's enjoyed this season was the 6-2 win against Leeds. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United, didn't he? So, reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Ahead of them two, I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes, obviously in the number 10. Bruno Fernandes played very well against Roma recently, obviously got an assist. Also had a good chance, should have converted it, and there was one part in the game against Roma where Bruno Fernandes tried a scorpion kick, but obviously it didn't work out because he missed the ball completely. Bruno Fernandes is our best player. And he's one of the best signings we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. In a lot of Bruno Fernandes' games at Manchester United, he's been very consistent. But there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Let's be honest, we have overplayed Bruno Fernandes. And I did say at some point he does need a rest, but earlier on this season, Bruno Fernandes denied that he needed a rest because he obviously wants to help the club win trophies. Fernandes has been here over a year now. Don't forget back in January, when it was his 12-month anniversary, he said he's planning on spending many years at Manchester United. Fernandes has won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Now, earlier on this season, he said that Bruno Fernandes will sign the new contract at Manchester United and stay at the club if Paul Pogba commits his future to the club. So Paul Pogba's key for Bruno Fernandes signing this new £200,000 a week contract. Earlier on this season, it said that Bruno Fernandes was refusing to sign a new contract until he has assurances over the club's transfer plans. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There is an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. We initially paid £47 million for him, but the overall cost with add-ons is just over £67 million. On the right hand side, I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood played against Roma recently. I don't think he was that good, to be honest with you. I've seen him perform much better than that. Greenwood had a couple of chances though against Roma, and he should have converted at least one of them. Analysing the vast majority of Mason Greenwood's games, he has been very, very consistent. He went a while though, didn't he, without scoring. Mason Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United in 2019, and he's been a United player since the age of 7, so he has been part of the club for a long time. Earlier on this season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with Man United, but Ole has been defending him a lot this season. At the first part of this season, he was in and out of the team, and at the start of this season, we're giving that number 11 shirt. Sometimes we play Greenwood on the right, sometimes we play him up top, but we seem to get the best out of him most of the time, wherever Greenwood plays. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford didn't start against Roma recently, but he did come off the bench. Rashford has become injury prone at Manchester United because he's sustained quite a few injuries. We need to keep Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side because that's where he's more effective. I'm not keen on Rashford on that right-hand side. I'm not even keen on Rashford up top. When Marcus Rashford plays well, though, he gets good runs in behind. He creates chances. He causes problems for the opposition's defence. And he can score very good goals. Rashford's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He's been part of the club for a long time. And up top, I'm going to go with Edison Cavani. Edison Cavani was absolutely superb against Roma recently. Got both of our goals. There were 2 very good goals as well. I hope Edison Cavani stays for next season. I presume a lot of United fans hope that Cavani stays for next season. I think Solskjaer wants him to stay for next season. Now, it said not so long ago that Cavani has decided that he wants to stay at Manchester United in the summer, and it said it's expected to be official this week. It said Cavani is close to agreeing a 1-year contract extension with Manchester United. Solskjaer did say not so long ago he's doing all he can to convince Edison Cavani to stay at the club. Before that, he said Edison Cavani's future has not 100% been decided. Not so long ago, Cavani had a meeting with Man United, and he asked to leave Man United to join Boca Juniors. Footballer Insider said earlier on this season that Cavani was willing to take a pay cut to go to Boca Juniors, and it said he had a verbal agreement with Boca Juniors, and it said Boca Juniors were willing to offer him a 3-year contract. Marcus Rojo, who was a former Man United player, he held talks with Cavani over a move to Boca Juniors. Edison Cavani's father came out earlier on this season and said that Edison Cavani is unhappy. He said he's not comfortable in England. And he said he wants to leave. But Solskjaer said earlier on this season that Cavani was closer to Boca Juniors than staying at Manchester United. But analysing the vast majority of Cavani's games at Man United, he's been very, very good. You know, his hold-up play's been good, he's scored good goals, he's created good chances, and his movement in and around the box has been good. Cavani's got a very good pedigree behind him as a player. Look what he did at PSG, he won quite a lot of trophies and he was with them a long time. Anyway, that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Aston Villa on Sunday. Obviously, Martial's still out with a knee injury. Looks very, very likely he's going to be out for the remainder of this season. Solskjaer confirmed that earlier on this season. Jones, he's been out of injury for over a year. Daniel James, I think he's now got an injury because he obviously didn't make the didn't make the trip to Roma. We haven't lost to Aston Villa at Villa Park since 1995. The last meeting between Man United and Villa was on New Year's Day. We beaten them 2-1 at Old Trafford, and we're beating them at Villa Park last season 3-0. So we've got a very good record against Villa. They're seldom beat us. Aston Villa are sitting 10th in the Premier League. Their current manager is Dean Smith. Dean Smith has been Aston Villa manager now for quite a few years. Before, he's managed Walsall and Brentford. Aston Villa have got some good players in their team. Obviously, you know, Jack Grealish, he's one of their key players. I think he's ruled out of this game because Jack Grealish is injured. So that's good news from Man United perspective. Man United have been relentlessly linked with Jack Grealish. You know, Jack Grealish has been at Aston Villa a long time now. You know, he came up their academy and that. Trezeguet, he's one of Aston Villa's key players. He's actually been out with injury and don't think he'll be involved in this game. Morgan Sanson, he's out with injury. Villa brought him in back in January. So I think they're the only injuries that Aston Villa have got. Ollie Watkins, he's made a fantastic impact at Aston Villa. Aston Villa brought him in last year. Ross Barkley, I think he's done quite well at Villa. You know, Villa brought him in last year. Before, Ross Barkley's been with Chelsea and he's been with Everton. He was at Everton for quite a while, wasn't he? They've got Traore. He's done quite well for Villa. Villa brought him in last year. They brought Martinez in, don't forget. And they also brought that Matty Cash in last year. Tyrone Mings, he's one of Aston Villa's key players as well. He's a centre-half, very good centre-half as well. Manchester United have been in for him before. Al Ghazi, he's also good. One of Aston Villa's goalkeepers is Tom Heaton, and Manchester United have recently been interested in him. I'm expecting us to beat Aston Villa because we're in a good vein of form at the moment and we've got a very, very good away record in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We are unbeaten in our last 24 Premier League away games. By the way, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is furious with the Man United fixture pile-up. Because obviously we've got 5 games in 15 days. So a very busy period for Man United. And Solskjaer said he will have to play a weakened team, you know, in one of the games. Yes, we did lose 3-2 to Roma recently in the Europa League semi-final second leg. But Man United are into the Europa League final. We will play Villarreal. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager, and it's our 8th European final. We did beat Roma 8-5 on aggregate because obviously we're beating them in the first leg at Old Trafford 6-2. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. Solskjaer did say the other month winning trophies can be an ego thing. We'll probably finish second in the Premier League this season. So obviously we're going to finish in the top 4, which is good. We was supposed to play Liverpool on the 2nd of May, which was last Sunday. But the game got postponed because hundreds of our fans went inside Old Trafford and invaded the pitch. There was protesting against the Glazers. The Man United-Liverpool game has already been rearranged for Thursday the 13th of May. And our fans are planning a second protest against the Glazers before the rearranged game against Liverpool. Probably do it for the Leicester game. We do play Leicester at Old Trafford on Tuesday night. Now, you know the news regarding Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is on. Jadon Sancho's preference would be to leave Borussia Dortmund to go to a team in Champions League football. Fabrizio Romano has already said that Jadon Sancho would be 100% happy to join Man United this summer, because Romano mentioned that we was keen on the move for Sancho last summer, but he says we've got to make a quick move. Borussia Dortmund confirmed not so long ago that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho over the possible transfer. Borussia Dortmund have lowered their asking price for Sancho. They want around £78 million. Chelsea have recently entered the race and Liverpool have been in for him. I think there's like 3 or 4 clubs in for Sancho. We've already spoke with Jadon Sancho's representatives over the potential move. Dortmund admitted earlier on this season that they'll sell Sancho for the right price this summer. And Borussia Dortmund's CEO did reveal that the club will discuss exceptional offers for Sancho. Earlier on this season, it said that we was preparing a £50 million bid because we believe we could get him for the cut price deal. Before that, it said we paused our transfer pursuit of Sancho due to the progress of Mason Greenwood. Last summer, Jadon Sancho was our number 1 priority target. And Sancho at Man United last summer was extremely close because obviously the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed and the contract had been agreed, but we couldn't come to an agreement on a natural fee, so that's what the stumbling block was. You know, Dortmund were demanding £108 million. We was reluctant to meet their £108 million valuation. You know, Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. And Fabrizio Romano's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too has Bill's Christian Fark. Analysing the vast majority of Sancho's career at Dortmund, he's been very, very consistent. You know, this has been Jadon Sancho's 4th season at Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City in 2017, and he's under contract with Dortmund until 2023. 3. On my last video, I give you more of an update on the Glazers. Joe Glazer has reacted to our fans. Obviously, Joe Glazer had done a letter to the fans forum, and obviously I read all the letter out to you. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently said that the Glazers apologised to him. Solskjaer did say that the violent incidents went too far, but he said the club need to listen to the fans. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was recently angry with Gary Neville over the Man United protests. Gary Neville's had quite a few things to say on it. Neville obviously blames the Glazers for the protests, and he said it was a peaceful protest. And obviously when that European Super League come into the equation, Neville said, the Glazer family have got to sell Man United, and he called them scavengers, and I've got to totally agree with him. Avram Glazer, not so long ago, refused to apologise over the European Super League. Sky News caught up with him in Florida. But yeah, last Sunday our fans were protesting against the Glazers. A few weeks ago our fans were protesting against the Glazers at Carrington, and some of our fans blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground. As you all know, there was holding banners up. Solskjaer did say earlier on this season that the Glazer family will not sell Man United, and before that he told protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. Quite a few weeks ago, Joe Glazer did release a statement apologising to club fans, over the European Super League plan. Will the Old Trafford protests force the Glazers out of the club? I hope so. It recently said that the Glazers have got no intentions of selling Man United, but there again it said that the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. The Glazers bought the club for $500 million back in 2005. So the Glazers have been at Man United now for 16 years, but we get him out, it would certainly be the correct decision, because I hate the way the football club has been run now for a long time. You obviously know the news regarding Ed Woodward. Got announced a few weeks ago now that Ed Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. He will stand down at the end of the year. Very good news. Been very critical of Woodward for a long time. I've already given you the reasons why. Not so long ago, Ed Woodward's home was attacked by masked protesters. Woodward has had a 16-year association with Manchester United. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.